Welcome to the Yessy's Designs Knitting Podcast, episode 25. I know it has been so long since my last episode. As some of you know, my grandma passed away. I recorded the last podcast when I was back home visiting her in Colombia. So sadly, this happened, but I could spend some time with her, and I've been back and somehow still trying to find a good routine and getting back to the swing of things. And it has been a little difficult, but I think that's something that happens after you lose somebody. The whole family dynamic has changed, dealing with grief from family members plus your own. I think we can all relate to that. So it took me some time to get back to the podcast, but slowly I'm trying to find my routine again. If this is the first time that you're here, my name is Yessy. I am the maker and the designer behind Yessy's Designs. In this podcast, I share my WIPS, if I have finished pieces, if there are maybe any pattern releases, some things that I've been part of, maybe in the fiber community. Maybe some things I share are things that I do with my family. Some of them, not everything, but some of the ones that I would love to share with you. Then you're going to see that here in the podcast. So on this episode 25, I am going to be talking about a pattern release. I'm going to be talking about an event that happened about a month ago in my town, an event that I just attended this week at my local yarn store, and some WIPS, and a little bit about a market that I was part of in the last few weeks, my first market of the year. So let's begin. I didn't bring anything to drink. I just realized now that I'm talking that I don't have anything. I hope that you do. If you have a project that you're working on, bring it. And I hope that I can keep you company as you work on a project or as you are doing things around the house. So let's begin with the newest pattern release. You might have seen that on my Instagram. If you don't know my Instagram, my account is at Yessy's Designs. I'm also on Etsy, Ravelry, and I released the Maple Shawl not too long ago. This is a shawl that I designed in collaboration with Hobby, and I work with their Hobby Cloud Delight. It's a bulky weight yarn, and I have some in my stash, enough to make one or two, maybe two more. This one is a version that I love. When I saw how the stripes start getting shape in the design, when I started working on it, it made me think of, it had like a 70s look. That's what I thought. That was the impression that I got. It reminded me of some things that I saw in my grandma's house when I was little, the one that just passed away. And I don't know, I'm the type of person that I am knitting and I have to have some kind of meaning to the work that I am doing. So it was really nice to continue to see how these stripes took their shape, and it just made me think of a lot of things that I didn't even know that I remembered that are still stored in my brain. So I love this color. I love this gradient, and it's a pattern that if you haven't made a shawl before, this will be a great first shawl for you. Now this yarn has a lot of texture. I use 6.5 millimeter needles, circular needles. And as I was working on it, I started to look at the yarns that I have in my stash. And I had some Boucle yarns and yarns with texture. So the more I worked on this piece, the more I saw that it's just a perfect shawl for those yarns filled with texture that maybe you don't know what to do with it. So I have made another shawl after this one. And I use Boucle yarn from Knit Picks, and I paired it with a finger weight yarn that I had in my stash. And now I am working on a third maple shawl. So I think my intention at the beginning when I started to make more maple shawls was to use yarn from my stash with texture. But there were some yarns that I wanted to pair it with something else. So I'm going to show you, and I'm going to jump to one WIP right now, the last maple shawl that I'm working on. So I have my WIPs on this bag from Mood Living. They sent me this bag quite some time ago, and it's perfect for those big projects if you're working on a sweater, if you're working on a shawl. But lately I have been finding that quite a few of my projects are here, including a finished piece that I'll get to that in a moment. So I had this yarn from Lion Brand Yarn. It's one of their ice cream yarns. And I have made beanies with it. So I have made Magdalena beanies for markets in child sizes, and these always go very quickly. So I have paired them with pink yarn because this yarn has some pinks in them, and also with light blue, and they find a home very, very quickly. They are super cute. But I have, I think I had a complete ball of this one and a partial one, enough to make another shawl. So I have worked obviously with this yarn before, so it always gave me that feeling of like a sunset. And it's sunset colors that made me think of my sunsets back home in our beach home over there. So I wanted to have that feeling in the shawl. So I got this Bubbly Boucle yarn from Knit Picks. And you can tell that it has a lot of texture. And I haven't worked with yellow, I think, in a long time. I don't remember the last time I worked with yellow. So I am pairing these two, and I am going to show you here how it is looking. So this is a project that I have on the go. If we are invited for, let's say, a picnic or a hike, or we are just going to be hanging out with friends, and there's going to be a lot of talking. This project has been great because it's very easy to memorize. So this is how this one is looking. I hope that, like me, you can see some sunset in there, like in that golden hour with those little parts of blue and pinks in there. So I am loving this one. And I'm going to make it as long as I can. And I'm going to see how much of this yarn I have left. Now, this yarn, as I mentioned before, has some pinks and light blues. So I would like to see how it looks, maybe in a pink or on a light blue. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be making next, but the boucle yarn would be pink or light blue. I have also from the previous maple shawl that I made, the one that I was telling you that I got the boucle yarn and some yarn from my stash. I got the same yarn, but in purple, in deep purple. So from that finger in weight yarn that I use, I still have another skein, and it has navy blues. So that's an oranges. So I want to make another version with that one. So I still have to decide if when I use that yarn, if I would get a boucle in navy blue or maybe one in orange. And with this yarn, if I have enough to make another shawl, if it would be light blue or pink. So let's see about that. So I'm going to put this WIP away. So the maple shawl, again, is a great beginner shawl. If you want to start making your own, you can use all kinds of yarns. You just follow the pattern until the desired length. I am also thinking of scrappy one. I have a lot in this basket over here, I have a lot of worsted weight, partial skeins, and I would love to make one like a scrappy version. So again, once you start working on a project, you have all of these possibilities in your head, and then you had all these other responsibilities like deadlines, patterns that I have to work on for the year, plus the markets and all of that. So it's always putting things on pause. And the Maple Shawl has been one of those projects that is putting some things on pause. But it's very delightful, if I can say so myself. So take a look at the pattern on Etsy, Ravelry, and on my website. All the links are going to be in the description below, and see if maybe this is a project that you would like to work on. So thank you. I want to say also thank you to the ones that have purchased the pattern already. I am very pleased with the warm welcome that it has received, and I cannot wait to see the versions that are going to be made about this pattern. Okay, so let me move on to WIPS, because I already have this bag over here with another WIP. So you saw already the Maple Shawl I'm working on. And I am working now with another hobby yarn. So they sent me this yarn. This is Hobby Buena Vista. And this is a yarn. This is the label. Let me see if it adjusts. Okay. So this Buena Vista yarn, it's 56% cotton, 35% acrylic, and 9% polyamide. It's super fine weight yarn. First time that I work with this yarn, so they sent it for me to try it out, and I like it. It can be a little splitty, but like it would be most of the cotton yarns that you might be working with, but that has not stopped me from working with it. I mean, it goes very nice on the needles. I found that it was pleaty most likely if I had to undo a few stitches, or when you are getting two stitches together, things like that, you have to be a little careful that you get the whole thread. So with this yarn, I am making the Friday Tea from Petite Knit. So let me show you. So this tea has very nice details. It's a rib pattern. It has, I don't know if you can see that in here, it has this detail on the sleeves, and the broken rib stitch goes through the whole pattern. The neckline is a fold. It's not a folded. It's a double neck. Now the name escapes me, but you knit the neck to the size, to the length that it says, and then you fold it and sew it on the inside. So it's gonna be very nice and warm. Now this yarn being cotton and acrylic, it's something that I am thinking that it can be used very nicely during the rest of the spring and summer. I am making this Friday tea for my daughter. This is short sleeve, and I believe I would be separating the sleeves and the body within the next week. So in the next episode, I'm going to show you progress. Hopefully, I show you the finished tea, but I am loving the way this one is working up. So on the pictures from Petite Knit's website is a stripe version. So you would need two colors for that version. Now, since this yarn has these changes of color, this is the back neck. The short rows in the back. So since this yarn has those changes of color, I wanted to see how those stripes would work up on a tee, on a piece, without me going or getting two yarns. So far the stripes are looking like these. I have to see how everything looks after you separate from the body and sleeve. So at this point, I started to see that the stripes are getting thinner, By the time this part is worked up in the body, I am assuming that the stripes are going to get a little bit wider again. So I want to see the final result. So I think I'm going to like it anyway, even though the stripes are not necessarily going to be looking the same width. But it's gonna be a fun tee. My daughter, she wears a lot of pants and a lot of jeans, so I know, and she has some skirts too that are white. And I think this tee is gonna look great with a lot of her clothes that she has already. So I look forward to show that to you. So those are two of my WIPS. Let me put everything back here in my bag. This looks like the Mary Poppins bag. Every time I go somewhere and I bring it, and there are more than two projects in here. Look how big it is. It's beautiful too. It's very stylish. So I love this bag. Now, this is the first time that I am gonna be showing my socks. So I haven't worked too much on these socks. This is the first one, and I am using, give me 1 second, I am using yarn from Vita Lifestyle. Let me get this away from here. So is this beautiful, like emerald green? I know it adjusted a little while ago. Okay, maybe you can see some in there. It's a beautiful emerald green. And I am working on let me show you the pattern. Another pattern from Petite Knit. So these are the everyday socks from Petite Knit. So I wanted to choose something that wasn't too complicated to start with. So these are the everyday socks. So I started working on this piece a while ago, a little while ago, a few months ago actually, maybe a couple months. I think I started them before I went to Colombia, so I think it's more than a couple of months ago. But I am loving this yarn, and the motivation for me to make socks was the yarn. So I mentioned in another podcast that I love to watch the podcast from the Crazy Sock Lady. So like the ranunculus, you see so many makers making the ranunculus, and there is a point where I was, okay, I want to make it. I think I have to make it already. I say it so much and you fall in love with the pattern. So I have made a couple, three. I have made three. One for my daughter, another one for my daughter, and I made that one for me. I'll show you that one on the next podcast. And I really liked it. So with the socks, I watched, the Crazy Sock Lady, Nitty Natty working on her socks. And okay, so I said, let me start making them. I mentioned also in that podcast that I was a little bit hesitant about how the gusset is going to work and all of that. But I got some yarn because I didn't want to be like, okay, I'm going to start the socks and I'm just going to make one and that's it. I got enough yarn to make 3 sets of socks. So I'm going to start showing you this one. The other ones you're going to see. I know you can see a little bit of a sneak peek in there. But I got 2 more sock sets because I am making this happen. So this pair is going to be for me. I started with the 9-inch circulars. My hands were not liking that. I went to magic loop. I didn't enjoy the process of the magic loop, so I went back to the 9-inch circulars, and I think I already got the hang of it. I'm at that point where I know when to stop, I know when it's too much, and so these socks are going to take a little bit of time, but they are going to be made. And the last WIP that I am going to show you is the Juno Tea from Sari Norlund. So let me show you that one first. So I have my WIP on this bag also from Mood Living, another one of their bags that I absolutely love. So if you're not familiar with Sari Norlund, which I think most of us are, she just released her latest book called Summer Knits. So she's a very prolific knitwear designer. Beautiful aesthetic on her feet. Her patterns are just so beautiful, very like airy looking, a lot of lace, cables, a lot of combinations in textures, and they are just absolutely so pretty. So last week, my local yarn store announced that they were having Sari coming to the shop this last Wednesday. Today is Friday, I don't know what day it is, Friday the 20 something, Friday the 23rd of May. And I went the following day and I got the Summer Knits book. Now, the book sold out already, obviously, so they are placing an order to come to the shop. So you can go to their website and order it. So the book is absolutely beautiful. I started looking at the book at the shop. I saw some patterns, obviously, that Sari has shown before a little bit. And so I started looking, and then Cindy, who works at the shop, she was making her Juno blouse. So I saw it and I fell in love with the sleeves. And I'm like, oh, do you mind if I make the same blouse? And she's like, no. So we got she and Justin from the shop. They helped me find a yarn to go with the tee. To make the tee. So I chose. Let me show you the yarn first. This is Fino from Manos del Uruguay, extra fine merino and silk. Look at this beautiful yarn. So more details about the yarn. This is 70% merino wool and 30% silk. 490 yards. It's beautiful, beautiful yarn. So look at this color. So I am making this one. The yarn is so soft. It is really, really pretty. And I am going to show you how my Juno Tea is looking. So I am going to be patient. Here. I want to show you the details on the sleeves. Okay, I don't know where to go to show so you can see. Okay, there. I hope it stays there. Look at that. It is so pretty. I am almost at the point where I am going to divide body and sleeves, and it's working out so beautiful. Even though there is so much lace happening in a small piece, the charts are very easy to follow. It's not complicated cables. It's not complicated lace work at all. But obviously you have to pay attention to what you're doing because if you're like me, I do not like to undo lace. I rather undo cables a million times, but not lace. So anyway, the event happened. I was getting ready for that. So I was like, I need to make at least half of the sleeve. I want to show up and show Sari at least half of the sleeve because I knew with everything that I had going on that I wasn't going to have time to make the whole piece, not even the whole sleeve. So the event was absolutely wonderful. Katie from Stars Hollow, she put all of this together. We were all so happy that Sari was able to go. So I'm going to be shooting some footage in here as I talk. She was wonderful, very down to earth, super sweet. It was so nice to meet somebody that has this passion for knitting, for designing. I don't know how many we were at the shop. We were quite a few. And we were all equally excited to have Sari in there. She gave so much attention and time to all of us, and that was absolutely wonderful. If you are following Sari on Instagram and you can see, that she's giving like a book tour here in the States. She's going from yarn shop to yarn shop, and I am sure that all of us are very, very excited to get to meet her, to talk to her, and she has been absolutely gracious. So it was nice to share that event with the ladies from the shop. One of my neighbors, Neval, was there, Neval Knits. She must have one of the most beautiful wardrobes, handmade wardrobes here in the area. And Nora from Nora Nets, she was also there, absolutely delightful as well. So we had a great time. I think at the beginning, I don't know, you try to find out a way to start talking, in this case with Sari. And it was just nice. I think once you talk to her, you are at ease. I'm one of those people that I get very excited and shy at the same time. And sometimes what I say doesn't come across as I have it in my head. So she puts you at ease. And she was absolutely wonderful. So I'm looking forward to finishing this piece, to wear it. I have, I think with jeans, it would look great. I would like to get a white pair of pants or jeans to go with it. I think it would be a great summer look. And let's see. I am enjoying working on this pattern quite a lot. So that's my last WIP. Now I'm gonna show you one finished piece. So since last time, I have finished pieces for sure. Most of them, they were for the market that I attended in Whiting Mills. I'm gonna show you some footage of the market here. And I had beanies, I had shawls, I had baby items, scrunchies. My daughter, she makes also these crochet hearts that we put in hair clips, so we had that. What else did I make for the show? Mostly it was beanies and shawls and cowls. So some cowls found a forever home. The Dominga cowl was one of them. And people, they just love. If you're not familiar with the Dominga cowl, I will put it in the description below. So it's a cowl that starts with a picot edging, and then they had some eyelets, then it has some lace that goes all the way up to the neck. So once you put it on, it stays there. You don't have to, it's not like a turtleneck that you have to keep adjusting or anything like that. You put it on and it stays there, and it has, in my opinion, a very elegant and delicate look to it. So I think I just have maybe a couple left. But the market was really nice. If you have seen the episodes where I show you the markets that I have attended at this particular place, Whiting Mills, they do an amazing, amazing job decorating the building. So the theme for this year was spring. So everything was decorated with flowers. It was absolutely beautiful. The ladies at Whiting Mills are very gracious and so helpful. And they are helping you through these days to make the best of the time in there. So it was, like always, a delight to go to this market. Is one of my favorite markets that I go in the year. So now I have to see if they invite me for December. If that's the case, I will be very excited to be there. So one of the beanies that I made for the markets, and this is one of the finished pieces that I have in here, is the Rich Beanie. So the Rich Beanie is full of cables, is the same cable. I use yarn from Knitpicks as well. And I love this color. They graciously sent me this color, this beautiful shade of green. So I made a few rich beanies for the event. And this one, I think I didn't finish it by then. I think I finished it like right after the market. So this one didn't make it there, but there were other rich beanies in there. So it has a folded brim. It fits very nicely and super warm. And I love all the cables. It's very engaging to work on these beanies. So when I started working on a beanie for an event, I just make as many of the same pattern at the same time. Because at some point you just memorize where the cables go, how everything looks, and the muscle memory as well. So after I'm like quote unquote done with the pattern, and then I move on to another one and make as many as I can in the following pattern. So that is it for my WIPS, my finished pieces. And the last thing that I wanted to talk to you about is an event that we just had in the town about a month ago, a little bit over a month ago, April from the 11th to the 13th. We had a weekend in the life, which is an event organized by Decade Days. And the whole town turned into Stars Hollow. So if you're familiar with the Gilmore Girls, you know that Lorelai and Rory, they live in Stars Hollow, which is a fictional town, but the town was inspired by the downtown of New Milford. So when you see in the show that the girls are always going around the same place, drinking coffee, and everything is like right there, that is exactly how the downtown looks like. So we have the gazebo, we have the coffee shops, the library, postal service is there, the mayor's office is there, the diner is in the same area. So the diner will be Luke's Diner. So we have a lot of people coming to New Milford just to do the Gilmore Girl tour. That happens all year long. But this company, they did this event and they brought a few people from the show. So they brought Ariel Cable, Scott Patterson, Chad Michael Murray, John Cabrera, Ian Truesdale, Matt Zuckery, and Todd Love. I know I said some of the names wrong, but they came and it was wonderful. So they had a couple of places where they would meet the actors. They had Q&As, photo ops, autographs, and the town really got, let's say, dressed up as Stars Hollow. The shops, most of the businesses participated in this event, including Company and Bank, which is the place where I have my pieces. So Company and Bank was a pop-up for the event. We were the gift shop of Stars Hollow. There were other places that were Dosie's Market and the diner, our local diner, inspired by Luke's Diner, was Luke's Diner. And Luke, Scott Patterson, he got to go as a surprise to the diner, and he served people coffee and everything. I tell you, there was so many people. I don't know, over 1,000. I know maybe more than that, but it was a very lively weekend. Everybody was so excited. They had the best things to say about the actors that they met, and we had to get ready months in advance to have in the shops things that are inspired by the shows. So I made a lot of knitwear, stickers, mostly knitwear because they use obviously a lot of knitwear in the show. So a lot of knitwear was there. And what else did I have? Mostly stickers and knitwear. I think that's what I had for the shop. So it was wonderful. Now they are coming again September the 12th to the 14th for a fall edition. So that's going to be, in my opinion, that's going to be way better than this one because when fall comes, the whole town, the downtown gets beautifully decorated for fall. So knowing all the things that the businesses did for this event, I know, and now we know obviously what works, what doesn't work, making adjustments and all of that. It's gonna be, in my opinion, way better this September. So if you knew about the event and you missed it, you know, try to come to this one. So they have a Facebook group. It's called A Weekend in the Life. You just ask to join, and then they give you all the information in there. There is people posting regularly, asking questions, and they are just giving information. Okay, now this actor confirmed that is coming, and this other one is coming, this other one is coming. So for this one, I know that Scott Patterson is coming again. Chad Michael Murray, I think he just confirmed. And Max from the show, I don't know his name, he's coming as well. There might be a few other ones that I am missing out right now, but it was an awesome event. And anyway, so that's all the excitement that has happened in the town. And that's all I wanted to share with you. episode. So I'm gonna get ready to go to one company on bank, and I'm gonna be bringing my WIPS. So at the moments that maybe there is nobody at the shop, I'm gonna try to take out my WIPS and work a little bit on the Maple Shawl or the Friday tea. Let's see what it is. Well, I hope that you're having a good day and that you have a great week ahead of you, and that you are working on projects that really make you feel that sense of calm and joy, that you're loving the yarn you're working with, the pattern you're working with. And I appreciate this time that you gave me today. I hope that you liked this episode. And if you did, if you can press like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, leave a comment. This helps my channel grow. And turn on that bell so you don't miss the new content that is going to be coming. So I look forward to seeing you on episode 26, and I hope that you also have a great day. Happy making and happy knitting.